really, really nice. And now you're kind of setting yourself up with multiple globals and semi-globals. You have the Ashe arrow, the GP ulti, the Ziggs ultimate, obviously as a semi-global, you know, very long range on that. And you can start to look to try to set up plays towards bottom lane. I still do think Golden Guardians probably have the preferential 2v2 here. Morgana is just so strong, and the fact that you can run TP on Ashe while you're forcing the cleanse out of the Caitlyn is going to give them the edge there. And that, in addition to a GP ult coming down, a potential Ziggs roam to throw down an ultimate from the river, makes things fairly dangerous for TSM. We saw that they navigated the early game really, really well, though, and they do have the benefit of that one game of experience against some of these champions, so we'll see if they can adjust and execute better here in Game 2, or if Golden Guardians is just going to put TSM at match point.
Yeah, like you said, it does feel like drafts for both teams were pretty solid last game. It did feel like execution more than anything was the thing to look at, so we'll see what tweaks do get made as far as game plans go. I also like kind of how the teams went about the top lane matchup. Camille's a nice one to protect your own pick, which you're probably taking here. Obviously, Hauntzer wants to counter pick here. That's what we expect from him in general as a player, but I think if you're on the red side, you need to be able to take those advantages where you can. I did call out Fiora. Hauntzer is one of the few players in the league that will play it alongside Someday being the other most prominent Fiora player, and she did get buffed on this patch. Don't really expect Fiora unless teams have had a lot of practice playing 1-4, because that is the only way Fiora lets you play the game, basically.
Yeah. Exactly. GP, it's a lot easier to team fight. It's a lot easier to just kind of not have to play to that side of the map, because also Fiora needs protection from her jungler, because, you know, she wins by actually like attacking the tower or attacking the enemy champion. Gangplank can win just by, you know, pretty much just AFKing at the tower, farming up, and ulting cross map, right? You know, there's much better wave clear, safer wave clear. It's easier to team fight on that GP. Fiora is much more of a specific win condition, but either way, we are going to have that GP, so we don't need to talk any more about that. But second game here of Ziggs on the new patch. Golden Guardians looking to put us at match point, and TSM trying to bounce back after what was a brilliant first 20 minutes into a very quick loss after a couple of teamfight defeats.
Yep, of note, Hauntzer's GP was actually banned in the last game as well, so he's going to get that into the tank matchup this go-round, but we've seen plenty of Ornn be successful in a multitude of matchups, so Broken Blade certainly no slouch on this champ either. We do also see a 3-man roam, 4-man roam from TSM as they're going to group up on the red side of the map, but there is no one from Golden Guardians poking their way towards the buffs. Just Damonte right now going to get that ward to spot any crosses towards their blue side jungle, as it looks like the jungle starts will be the same once again.
Going to be starting on the same side. It's going to be very interested to see how this matchup in the bottom lane goes overall. You know, will that Bard pick be enough to shift it? I definitely think it is better than what they were playing in the 2v2 last time. I still think it is Golden Guardians favored for some of the reasons I outlined earlier. You know, TP advantage being on the side of Golden Guardians, and also just Morgana is kind of a straight up stronger laner in that 2v2. You can see Treatz has gone for the more defensive summoners, but I do think this is a game where it can sometimes be difficult to actually get an exhaust on the correct targets. You know, there's no real big DPS threats that are trying to get into melee range on you here. So we'll see how effective he's going to be with that. And he has gone for the more defensive setup. It isn't just the exhaust, it is also Guardian Relic Shield. You know, so he is really kind of looking more towards that defensive supportive style from Bard. And you can see Huhi again here, just spamming out the Ws. This gives them almost a guaranteed push. You go Spell Feast for the additional mana regen, so you can continue to spam those spells and comment for that poke to try to whittle them down. Last game, you know, he was playing Scorch, he was playing, you know, a lot of these laning runes that are going to be pretty annoying for TSM to deal with, but Health Shrines over from the Bard are going to help to sustain through that quite a bit.
Yep, that is the element of Bard, though, that did get nerfed on this patch, so we'll see just how well DoubleLift and Treatz can sustain through this lane. As you said, it does feel like the 2v2 is certainly favored for Golden Guardians, and I will agree. I like the idea of Huhi also just porting his mid lane runes, you know, to support. You know, it never really changed, just last hit's fewer minions now. But FBI off to a good start here alongside Huhi once again. We'll see if they can open up any sort of lead. Junglers are on the opposite side of the map also, but I don't think there's going to be any attention to this lane. So top lane is where we will currently hang out as Broken Blade going to get a nice knock up there onto Hauntzer. Almost ate a tower shot, but I think he's A-okay. But don't expect too many fireworks here in the top lane.
Did take one tower shot, and because he couldn't actually get the follow-up auto after that Bell's Breath for the Brittle proc, he does end up losing that trade, but not too big of a deal. You know, he's just looking to kind of push in this GP. You know, and when I say the winning lane, you know, for Golden Guardians, that is in isolation. It is about the 2v2. You know, there is inherent risk to playing a pushing style like this. When you're constantly shoving, you're obviously, you know, much more exposed to ganks and that sort of thing. which is why it's going to be kind of up to Closer to be shadowing them, to be getting wards for them, tracking the Lee Sin. And Closer has reset. He is moving up towards this top lane. Hauntzer's ward, unfortunately for him, a little bit too late to actually spot Lee Sin moving over here. May be able to see the Krugs here pretty shortly as he does move over, but Closer at the very least will be in position to defend any potential aggression on Hauntzer.
Yeah, Closer now going to get the news that Spica is in fact here, so Hauntzer not going to get killed through that ward timing, but the knockup is there for Broken Blade. It's two different 1v1s actually, as Closer going to smack Spica out of his jungle, and Hauntzer just trading up to Broken Blade does go about even on health and mana at the end of it.
But Closer won out in that jungle 1v1 so hard that it means Broken Blade, you got to back it up. And that's going to allow Hauntzer to get a free reset, which is going to be very preferential for top. He's going to be able to push this in, and it means he'll save his TP, right? Because if you can actually get the wave fully pushed in, you do not need to use your teleport. You can just reset and walk straight back to lane, save the teleport for if you get ganked or if you want to make a cross-map play. So even just that little jungle skirmish does make a pretty big difference for the side of Golden Guardians. And now Closer just going to cross straight through this mid lane, look to get down towards the bottom side because he knows he wants to be in position to cover his bottom lane. Spica was moving into his jungle while he was covering the top lane, so he knows Lee Sin could be down there. And like I said, when Ashe and Morgana are pushing, you have always got to be in position to try to cover them from this. He's also actually going to start the dragon instantly on spawn. He was there right on the dot at 5 minutes, so they want to snowball towards a soul, and they want to do it really, really quickly. And we'll see if they're going to be contested here whatsoever. Last game, remember, they were not. The first one was just kind of given over free and clear to Golden Guardians, and it looks like it's going to be a repeat of that.
Yeah, good sweeper there from Huhi, finding all the wards, actually even going to get the one in the back of the Drake pit. So Golden Guardians just doing a really nice job syncing up all their pieces. I love the discussion about how both junglers are actually doing a good job of trying to cover for the bottom lane. Good binding there for Treatz, but no follow-up really available because the Black Shield was there for FBI to avoid the cupcake follow-up. And Dragon does go over to Golden Guardians as a result. So like you said, on spawn there, we are on track for what I assume would be the fastest soul of the split if Golden Guardians can get all 4 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, if you can take them all on spawn, you will have the fastest soul of the split for sure. But TSM obviously are going to have opportunities to try to contest that later on. Broken Blade falling pretty far behind, honestly. Didn't pick up as much farm. Treatz is in trouble.
Good exhausted Treatz, but he kind of has to. He might still be dead regardless. Huhi with the Ignite already popped. FBI flash it in there. There's the GP ulti, and that's first blood over to FBI.
Treatz makes a mistake, moves too far forward there, gets hit by the binding, and just going to straight up go down. Not only will that mean he loses his life and first blood goes to FBI, the worst person for TSM to give it over to, they're going to have to give up tower plates now. And DoubleLift doesn't get to farm this out. He was actually, even or ahead potentially based on how much farm he could actually pick up. But now he's going to be behind. They give over first blood to his opponent. And TSM going to be kicking themselves for that one. They were able to withstand this lane last time around, but this time they are not able to do it. Treatz trying to move up to actually stop a base. I think he was expecting that, but they saw him just straight up walking in. Huhi nails the binding, drops the ignite. FBI has the black shield flashing forward as the GP ultimate comes through, and there was no way out of that one for Treatz. So overextension, trying to prevent that early base timing and the TP recall that they were actually looking for, ends up getting himself killed.
Yep, FBI still with his TP ready as well. DoubleLift did hold on to his cleanse. That is the only summoner spell currently available in bot lane for TSM, so certainly some potential volatility there if junglers do want to visit the bot lane once again. But as you said, Hauntzer feeling very comfy now in this matchup, up about a wave still. He'll be getting some gold off of the barrels and the parlays. And Broken Blade, yeah, he can fight, he can contest here, but Hauntzer, anytime it's smooth sailing for the Gangplank in top lane, you're set up for a very comfy game, as Closer even going to visit the top side just to try and punish Broken Blade here.
Yeah, pretty annoying for Broken Blade, and a lot of that is just off of that kind of jungle skirmish, because Broken Blade was actually laning very well, and excuse me, I thought there was less CS for him to pick up, so the farm differential, honestly not important up on that top side. I earlier called that out, but we do see that Hauntzer got an early Sheen. Anytime you can get Sheen on the first buy as Gangplank, you're pretty much in the comfort zone. He didn't get the wave frozen on him because Closer was there to actually guide in that wave with him, since he had won out that 1v1 against Spica. Really everything going better for Golden Guardians this time around, and now Bjergsen get a face check here.
Spica here as well. Also, Huhi, the binding is there, but it is going to miss. Bjergsen, though, is going to be forced to use the ulti, but the Black Shield is going to get Closer through, and Huhi is going to pick it up.
Yeah, Bjergsen deciding he can't flash out of there, and not thinking that he's going to be able to survive, so he just accepts his death. But this is last game, except if Golden Guardians was winning all around, right? You know, last game around, you know, we saw Spica at level 9 to level 7 on Closer. This time, Closer is going to be ahead in the experience. He's the one that's getting this Rift Herald. When they lost it last time, they've gotten a kill on bot side. They didn't get that last game. They got a kill mid lane here. Didn't get that last game. So everything working better now. It was a nice flash around there from Closer. I think that binding was always going to miss. So, you know, not that big of a deal. And probably correct for Bjergsen to not flash at that point because he was so low. The chances of him just dying to a Ziggs Q or something like that was always pretty high. Spica, though, nice little smite away, so he doesn't get level 7 first. But still, overall, things looking so much better for Golden Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, Closer got the first Rift Herald right. They didn't get one in the last game. We can maybe finally see it pair up with the Ziggs to knock down the turret nice and early. FBI is continuing his good run here, although the farm is even. I think DoubleLift has been navigating this 2v2 very well, knowingly drafting a bad matchup because you're first picking Caitlyn every game. Huhi also on the roam with the ulti. Bjergsen does have his flash, so a little tricky to punish the Azir, but Huhi just going to make sure to clear out that vision. Yeah,
and to be clear, I think that the Caitlyn into Ashe is totally fine. I just think that, you know, and that can even be a winning matchup for the Caitlyn. I just think it's about, you know, the support picks that Golden Guardians have been indexing more towards, you know, the winning support matchup. This game is more of an even 2v2. I do think that Golden Guardians have done a better job to actually, you know, win that. But last game especially, you know, picking Thresh into Morgana is kind of just accepting that 2v2 loss. Either way, you know, DoubleLift definitely farming it out well. He is behind, though, off of that kill, and Spica going to be spotted moving out of base here by that hawk shot. FBI has been very good with his timing on these, you know, catching Spica fairly consistently moving around the jungle, which does always give an edge to Closer, because Closer is going to know where Spica is. He can make the decision, do I want to try to attack elsewhere? Do I want to try to counter jungle? Do I want to be in position to counter gank? And you know, given that the dragon is spawning, he wants to move down here, be in position to cover his bottom lane so they can push out, and Closer can likely even drop the Rift Herald and then move right over to that dragon for what is potentially that second dragon very quickly in a row.
Yeah, especially important right now given the objective. Closer also has the Rift Herald, so Bjergsen's going to roam down here. I think everyone's about to join the party here, but no TP for the top lane. Hauntzer does have his ulti. So a very slight edge there to Golden Guardians if a fight were to break out right now.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's not Shen. You don't have that stand united, so it's you know, whatever you want to call it, 4.5 versus 4 or whatever. And the fact that they have the Rift Herald too means you can just drop Rift Herald in the lane and then walk straight to Dragon, and TSM either ignore the Rift Herald and lose a lot of turret damage, or they answer the Rift Herald and lose the Dragon. But for now, you know, TSM is navigating this pretty well. The teleport's almost up for Broken Blade. So if they can continue to delay this, and that is why Spica is just staying around here for so long, then they may be able to buy time for Broken Blade to have that teleport. And we'll see if they can find any sort of play here.
Yeah, Broken Blade's actually already walking down. He's at mid lane right now. So TSM have bought enough time to try and start this Dragon. Spica is going to aggro it. Hawkshot is going to see Spica there in the brush alongside Bjergsen, so Golden Guardians are going to move back down to that bottom lane as TSM are trying to get enough space to take this objective away.
Yeah, and when you move Broken Blade down, you have to then start it, right? Because GP is now unanswered on the top side, so that is what you are giving up to be able to make this move. They're probably going to lose a plate on top side, maybe 2, depending on what the turret is at, because the Gangplank passive works on turrets, and that's very strong, plus the sheen damage. So it actually is going to be 2 towers, or 2 tower plates, rather, for that dragon, and they drop the Rift Herald. So this is actually just going to straight up be a full first tower. Broken Blade can't even now walk in, so I do think this was, you know, well done by TSM to navigate that, but they're trying to look for the kills here on the return. Let's see if they can get them.
Yeah, Ornn going to get the knock-up ulti there, but Closer here to try and get Broken Blade out. The TP is a bit late for Damonte, but better late than ever. Here's a 3v3, one more TP in. See you later, Broken Blade, as Golden Guardians should be able to get this kill. Indeed, Closer will seal it. And Golden Guardians just answer a little bit better.
Golden Guardians are just straight up outplaying TSM. You know, TSM is now 4,000 gold behind at 12 minutes. They are looking like they are a little bit in shambles here against Golden Guardians in Game 2, who, you know, had that really surprising turnaround in Game 1, coming back there, now crushing TSM early on in Game 2 here. We'll see if TSM can navigate some sort of a turnaround, but that just felt to me like TSM lost track of the fact that Golden Guardians had an extra teleport on their AD. I don't think that they were expecting the double teleport to come through. You know, you have to be anticipating Ziggs to match your mid laner's TP, but then, you know, they're probably saying, hey, we could win this in a 3v3, right? You know, some of the cooldowns are going to be down. Hauntzer wasn't at full mana or anything. He didn't have his flash, so they might have been comfortable taking that, but they're definitely not going to be able to win out once FBI joins too and they're down a member.
Yeah, and to kind of echo your point earlier about it's the the same game as before, but if Golden Guardians had the early game lead, it was 3,000 gold ahead for TSM at about 18 minutes. We now have that lead and maybe a bit more coming up for Golden Guardians at 13 minutes. So things certainly looking good here for one of the best early game teams in the league. Golden Guardians feeling confident. You know, this is where they're already good, right, in the early game, even though the comp is a little bit less aggressive than thing they've drafted so far this split. And given how they closed out the last game, you have to think that momentum is there for this side, who are definitely punishing a TSM that's looking a little shaky.
For sure, they have the momentum. We'll see if they can actually close out as cleanly, because this is more, I would say, par for the course for Golden Guardians. Perhaps not a lead this big. I think this is exceptional, but they have always been a really good early game team throughout the split. They have struggled in the mid game. They've struggled in the late game to be able to cleanly close games. And have they drafted themselves enough tools to be able to do that? Have they set themselves up, and will they be able to execute on that? That is really the big question for me, because TSM, if they do hang around, they still have incredible late game. You have Ornn, Caitlyn, Azir as that core three. You're going to have the Ornn items coming through. You have Treatz to try to potentially look for engages with that Bard ultimate. Of course, you have to watch out for Black Shield and lease in some additional playmaking there. But TSM could potentially still win this.
Another arrow into the binding. It just looks so easy. Treatz should be dead here in a DD as his Hauntzer is going to get the kill. Spica now also in trouble, but DoubleLift still shooting around. Hauntzer now going to TP in after using the GP ulti. And TSM in a 5v4.
Everyone shows up bot lane, and again, it's Treatz going down. Got caught by that binding there. TSM had the TP available, but Golden Guardians able to burst down Treatz, kill him off very quickly, and seems like they're struggling to find an answer really here for FBI. He did get exhausted, but he had the Black Shield, no CC to be able to be thrown over on him, so he is pretty much unstoppable at that point. And Golden Guardians do grab a kill. It is just one kill, and it is just the support. The dragon isn't yet spawned, but I mean, honestly, look at the gold lead. This is 4,500 worth 15 minutes, and one misstep and you lose that mid lane turret. That's over 5,000 gold then. TSM is trying to get something back here. They are looking towards this top lane Rift Herald, but things are getting very concerning for TSM right now as this gold lead is expanding and expanding.
They're actually
go ahead.
They're going to fight for this as well. TSM has started this Rift Herald, but Golden Guardians are here in time. It's not even dead yet. Ziggs actually get the ulti down. It's going to reset. This could be absolutely disastrous there as Broken Blade does get the pushback doing the ulti, but he only gets one knock up in the front line, but that's closer low dead. Couldn't Haymaker there as TSM Treatz able to get a kill finally, and Golden Guardians are going to lose one.
TSM barely able to get that kill, and they narrowly limped away with multiple members. Now looking for the Ashe arrow onto DoubleLift. They're not able to get him there and didn't force the summoners. Hauntzer getting corralled.
Hauntzer might be okay here. We'll see. He's going to need a good barrel. Oh, I take it all back. Spica able to get the kill.
Yeah, with no ulti, if you can't land those barrels, you're not going to have much of a chance there. Well played by the TSM members with low health to take down Hauntzer, because that top lane gap was becoming very big. The CS lead is pretty big. You're printing extra gold as GP. He got turret plates. He got a kill. So Hauntzer is getting really, really strong. I mean, he's closing in on his Essence Reaver at 16 minutes, and he already has the Triforce. So GP is going to be a very big problem for TSM, but at the very least, they get this kill, and they will slow down his progression a bit. This will also allow them to have another crack at this Rift Herald. But Dragon is spawned. Interesting that Golden Guardians aren't just taking the Dragon. I think that they should have just gone for that. They felt that perhaps they could actually contest this and still get both. But they may still be able to grab this dragon for themselves here, and they're going to crack mid lane turret with the Ziggs satchel. Nicely done.
Yeah, turret nice and easy there. Damonte finally getting a bit more mileage out of this pick as they knock down the mid outer. 2-0 up in towers for Golden Guardians. Still leaves them with about 3,000 gold after the exchanges that happened, and they should be able to get this dragon as well as Closer is going to Hex Flash into the pit, and there's no one from TSM around right now to try and contest. But I think it is worth pointing out that Hauntzer, that Mordekaiser game basically felt like he took over a lot of those fights that happened in the mid game that led to the Golden Guardians win. Closer could go anywhere with the first Herald that he got. Oh, take it back. Arrow binding, Huhi with the ulti as well. Spica's going to be able to hop out of there. He is going to be safe, but Closer is going to get the dragon. So good work from the Golden Guardians dual lane to keep Spica away from the dragon.
Yep, looking for an attempted pick. But it doesn't cost them too much, honestly, and they grab the dragon, so that is great. TSM trying to play some of these guerrilla tactics, trying to avoid Golden Guardians, try to pick up gold where they can. They do grab that top lane tower, but Ziggs on the bottom side will take down a turret of his own. And this game has been much more successful utilizing that Ziggs siege. Last time around, they weren't really able to get much access to the towers until, honestly, that teamfight win into Baron push. But this time around, they are getting that access. Multiple towers now knocked down by that Ziggs satchel. We can see the Golden Guardians are in a position of comfort, but TSM has done a good job over these last couple of minutes of trading back. They grabbed the Rift Herald, they've taken down a tower of their own top lane, and they're trying to get DoubleLift and Bjergsen into a comfortable spot. They also don't have to worry about, you know, QSS necessarily this game because there's no Mordekaiser over on the other side. So if we do see a Mikhail's for Treatz, I think that could be very effective in addition to the cleanse from DoubleLift. I think Banshee's Veil still, you know, potentially makes sense here from Bjergsen once more. And they could be set up more comfortably for some of these team fights.
Yep, trades continue though as Broken Blade's going to go ahead and take the bottom outer tower. So now 3-2 in the turret lead for Golden Guardians as they do need to set themselves back out on the map. It looks like we are in for, you know, maybe just some hanging out between the next Dragon spawns here. Game is kind of stalled a little. Broken Blade though going to get it started onto Hauntzer. Spica's here as well. Ready with the kick, ready with the Q, and see you later, Hauntzer! Slowly but surely he dies. He's fine. Oh my goodness, he's going to get ace in the hold. If DoubleLift is going to be able to take him down. He lived for a lot longer than I thought he would though.
Yeah, he did. And honestly kind of misplayed the flash. You know, if he had actually flashed earlier to avoid the redirect on that ultimate, maybe could have got out. Because by the time he flashed, it was a well-placed pillar from Broken Blade that allowed, you know, Hauntzer, he flashed from one side of the pillar to the other, but you're still in range of the Ornn knockup. So he goes down anyway, expends the flash, expends the ultimate, and it is going to be mid lane turret getting cracked here very likely as the Rift Herald gets dropped for TSM. So TSM finding another good play. Hauntzer still ridiculously strong though. Pre-20 minutes, Essence Reaver Triforce is pretty disgusting. So that is one very rich Gangplank.
Yeah, they don't come cheap. Oh, what a kick.
Bjergsen.
Bjergsen going to get arrowed up, and now Closer's going to dive into three of them. Bjergsen forced to kick them out. Tempered Fate does hit FBI. The Black Shield wore off. But no one's there to follow up. Damonte with the ulti instead is going to keep the rest of TSM out, and that looked very spooky for a second. But Golden Guardians and TSM will walk away.
It did. It looked like Golden Guardians was maybe going too far there. After Bjergsen flashed, Closer, you know, couldn't really get in range. So ulting Bjergsen forward away from his team felt like, hey, maybe he just got himself killed. But he does escape. You know, the Black Shield expiring right at that timing from Treatz to land his ultimate didn't end up really mattering because no one in TSM was able to get in position to actually follow up on that and punish it. So the game will continue. 3,000 gold lead. That has stabilized. But again, Hauntzer out of the side lane. You are getting picked on. No flash this time, buddy.
Yeah, I don't think you can get out of this for sure. Treatz is going to run in as well just in case. Ace in the hole just to ensure Hauntzer's death once again. And it's Bjergsen that'll pick up kill credit this time.
That is really well done here by TSM. Now, Hauntzer was starting to run away with this lead in the side lane. And now 3 straight times they have found him. They have killed him. But Hauntzer is going to have to show more restraint, I would say.
Yes.
You know, at this point, you know, yes, there's nothing he can do once he's already in that spot, but then that means you can't be in that spot, right? And this is like watching me sometimes. I'm just gonna keep running it down for the farm. Like I could probably get it. Yeah, they killed me the last 3 times, but I could probably get it this time. They won't be there. But they're always there, and you're going to die for it. So Hauntzer has got to play it a bit more safe. Wait until his team has vision for him. Wait until he sees the jungler. And you got to play it more carefully than that because every time he goes out to the side lane and dies, he's giving TSM time to catch up. He's giving TSM time to get wards, to get pressure, to push minion waves. And those are all things that are setting Golden Guardians back more and more.
Yeah, TSM at this point are happy to keep delaying the game, right? They're still down, what, a little over 2,000 gold here, but Golden Guardians will have a shot at this next dragon in 50 seconds, but they haven't really done much other than farm these waves. Hauntzer has been trading gold back over to TSM, so TSM is going to hang out with the Azir Caitlyn. Ornn should feel very comfortable in a game that's going to go, expected to go a bit longer here, but Golden Guardians moving the vision out, trying to shut out TSM from this dragon side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, this has been more the prototypical Golden Guardians game. Fantastic early game. Starting to struggle a little bit in the mid game, you know, not able to necessarily dominate in this regard. They're still a couple thousand gold ahead, and Treatz maybe Kai here.
Yep, gonna get ulted back there by the Sett. Is gonna flash out of there, but he's still dead. His close is just gonna take him out. Celebrates with the party penguin. That's gonna be a 4v5 for TSM in 10 seconds if they do want to contest for this Cloud Dragon.
Tried to push it a little bit quickly there. You know, Treatz just moving forward, face check that brush. That is the second time he, you know, face checked a brush with Huhi in it, got bound up, does go down. And they're actually trying to move over and get vision by the Baron while taking that dragon with just Hauntzer. So, you know, Golden Guardians is trying to take everything right now, you know, get vision on both sides of the map, secure the dragon for themselves here. We do see Closer moving down, though, now. They don't want to risk any sort of a random steal, but this is putting themselves at soul point very early. It is admittedly a less powerful Dragon Soul, or at least it is more difficult to get power out of it, I should say. You know, the Cloud Soul can still be very, very useful. 10% fly move speed is amazing. And Bjergsen, has got to get out of there. Huhi not going to look for a flash binding. But there are some champions here that get a lot of use out of it. Morgana, for one, you get the bonus move speed on your ulti. And with Cloud Soul, you not only have that flat move speed, but you get a big bonus of move speed and can charge in with that ultimate.
Black Shield on. Huhi going to be the target because FBI got Black Shielded by Huhi very responsibly. Mid lane tower, though, is going to go down. You can see that TSM have an obvious target here. They basically must kill FBI to get work done in a 5v5, but
yeah,
he's alive for now.
And you can see the wave clear coming through from Ziggs, right? You know, it's tough because both these guys are a huge threat. I think it's easy to just tunnel on FBI and be like, gotta deal with this guy, because Damonte wasn't that much of an impact in the last game. But Damonte's on Death Cap Luden's, you know, he is really strong right now. That is a deadly 2-item set of items there. So, you know, he's going to get a tremendous amount of damage out if he can connect with any of the skill shots. TSM are going to have to worry a lot about this Ziggs too, because, you know, for DoubleLift, it's one of these weird scenarios where you're like, there's not that much dive, it's just the Sett. But all of a sudden the Sett is behind you and CCs you as the Caitlyn, and there's a Ziggs ult on your head, there's a GP ult on your head, and you just die. You know, you have to be really, really cognizant of where that Sett is, not because of the other melee champions with him, but because of the long range follow-up that is available from Golden Guardians that can kill you without GP or Ziggs ever even showing up on your screen.
Yep, and if he's on your screen, the auto does so much damage as well if the passive is ready. And Damonte is about to be level 16 in a couple more waves here, so it will be rank 3 Ziggs ult most likely that's going to be hitting DoubleLift, so certainly a lot of things for this 2-item Caitlyn to worry about.
And he may have to pick up some sort of survivability. You know, he doesn't need the QSS because he has Cleanse, and, you know, Mikhail's maybe purchased, who knows. We'll see if they can get a pick here. No, who's going to be pushed out, though. But you still may need something to kind of keep you alive against the GP ulti, as well as this Ziggs ultimate, because that is so threatening. The sweet spot on a rank 3 Ziggs ultimate is ridiculous. If you have no MR, that can be almost all of your HP. Like, it is really, really crazy. Hauntzer also not going for one of these tanky builds. He's going pure damage, and very likely this is going to be an IE third. When he completes that, you know, if he hits any sort of a barrel chain, or even just the tremendous amount of flat AD he's going to have in the build, is going to work wonders here for his ultimate. You know, this isn't the, like, Sterix, more defensive style. This is the one-shot you if you hit the right chain.
Yeah, I think a lot of threat on the Golden Guardian side with all of the damage they have. Certainly TSM with something a little bit more stock, and we are looking for Broken Blade to continue looking for those ultimates. And maybe try and bait out the Black Shield before, because that would obviously make his job quite a bit easier. Golden Guardians, I think, bouncing on a somewhat precarious lead here. They're still up, though, to 2,500 gold. They'll be able to play for the soul in 2 minutes. They've got plenty of objective damage threat. Ziggs, especially, of course, on those structures, is nice, as Tempered Fate will whiff.
Yep, not even worried. They didn't even have to drop the Black Shield there. Oh, Treatz. Nice sidestep on the arrow as a response. But the gold lead, honestly, is almost nothing at this point when you actually are factoring in the Ornn items and everything. You know, TSM actually has, like, more value in items at this point. The concern is the soul point, because, you know, it isn't just a straight-up combat soul, but 10% move speed plus that burst of move speed is still very powerful. That's more what TSM is going to be worried about. But, I mean, Golden Guardians was, like, 4K up at, what, 12 minutes, 14 minutes? So the gold lead has not only stagnated, it's actually been falling away. And Caitlyn is potentially, you know, closing in here on 3 items. I don't know exactly how close DoubleLift is, but if DoubleLift is on 3 items before this next fight, Bjergsen's already on 2.5, working towards the death cap. Like, these guys are online, and that's you know, the Molten Edge already upgraded by Ornn. So TSM will be really, really strong for this team fight. But we'll see if Golden Guardians can either get a pick or kind of outmaneuver them to be able to get a fight here uncontested, grab that soul. And in fact, there's the rapid fire. DoubleLift's on 3 items. This is fully online Caitlyn with a big beefy Ornn in front of you who has purchased the locket. I think that's very smart. If you can actually be stacked up, especially, you know, with your teammates for things like the GP ulti and that Ziggs ultimate, then that is kind of him purchasing a defensive item for DoubleLift, right? I talked about how he might need a little bit something extra to help him survive. That locket from your beefy frontliner could be just that.
Yep, also locket for closer, but obviously less effective than the Ornn, given that Ornn has more gold and therefore more items. FBI also did go back, but doesn't have his completed IE because the items are just a lot more expensive than the rapid fire that DoubleLift has, and FBI is actually down in farm overall. Barrel chain attempted, doesn't hit, but they're going on to Broken Blade. Oh, it's because he wants to go to the backline. Onto Bjergsen and Treatz. Bjergsen is going to get stunned up. Broken Blade there with the ulti, but it doesn't really connect on too much here. And FBI, he's kiting very well. Spica in the front side is going to get low, but the Tempered Fate may indeed save them. And now TSM look for the re-engage as Broken Blade knocked up FBI, but they haven't found a clean kill just yet. But Golden Guardians running out of health here as the tank of TSM is just so durable. but they can't get anybody. In fact, it's just bullets and arrows thrown everywhere, but nobody is Azael, nobody is dead.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You know, Hauntzer actually was just chasing DoubleLift that whole time. DoubleLift is out of the fight. This is probably going to be their dragon. Spica has no health. Golden Guardians won that fight, and DoubleLift almost got 2-hit by the Ziggs. This is up to Spica to steal this, or that is Soul going over. Can he get it?
Oh,
he got it!
Spica with the steal. Golden Guardians will be delayed.
They're looking for the fight.
When this time Spica finally dies, but TSM are going to keep chasing. DoubleLift is awfully low, so I'm not sure I recommend it.
But it could be Baron now for Golden Guardians because they have no jungler on the side of TSM. Hauntzer did, Closer did use his smite, but obviously, you know, TSM doesn't know that. And we'll see if Golden Guardians is willing to start this up. They're not because they don't have the smite available. They're still concerned about the amount of damage that DoubleLift and Bjergsen could do. But that fight really showcased how much damage Ziggs does. Watch DoubleLift's health. Okay, this was DoubleLift actually getting chased out. He does barely survive here and then came back up. I also think if Hauntzer just stayed with his team in that fight, they maybe could have killed Spica. He chased DoubleLift, committed his flash even for DoubleLift to try to actually kill off the marksman, but DoubleLift just ran it out. And Spica, no one's zoning for this man. You have the health advantage. Who is there to actually block the Q? Nobody. In he goes. That is clutch. That could have been the game for Golden Guardians. And Spica, after the criticisms coming through over the last week for his inability to land some of those smites against TL, he stole Dragon in the first game, he stole Dragon in the second game. Spica has been fantastic, I would say, through these first 2 games for TSM.
Yeah, if we're in for a long series, Spica is progressively stealing more important objectives as the series goes on. So certainly looking calibrated here for smites. There is Temper Fate actually hits old Baron. I guess Treatz was just wanted to check it out. But the poke from Ziggs starting to hurt here. Spica not all that tanky. And it's almost 3 items finished now for Damonte as well. Is 3 items now officially finished for FBI. So Golden Guardians still with the tools to fight here.
They have them. And you'll note, DoubleLift bought a Null Magic Mantle, which is just like, please don't blow me up, Ziggs, as they actually smite off that blue. DoubleLift has no cleanse.
Oh, he's so dead. Shut down there for FBI. What a great combo there for Golden Guardians. Arrow into Ziggs ulti. And like you said, you might be 4 screens away, but you are still dead.
We'll see if TSM want to even try to re-engage this. This is risky, but they don't want to give up the Baron. They're trying to set up a little angle here, but now goes Closer.
Closer's just straight in there, and the Golden Guardian's just going to fight for it. Hauntzer wrapping around as well. He's going to do so much damage. Oh, the barrel does just connect, but Bjergsen's going to shove them all away. TSM turn around the team fight. They do get 1 kill. Bjergsen will not be stopped, but FBI shooting down Broken Blade. Has to be aware of the Azir. There was the Black Shield onto FBI, but he can't step forward far enough to try and get a softer target. Closer's still alive, though. Golden Guardians could go for this if they want to, but they don't. They'll reset.
They're being very risk-averse here. A lot of low health bars on TSM, but they're nervous about that smite steal. And to be fair, Closer doesn't have smite, so it makes a lot of sense that they're resetting. But again, Bjergsen bailing them out here on what looked like it would have been a Golden Guardians Baron after that pick. TSM really up against it, though. Golden Guardians are pushing them to the brink. Closer, you know, looked for that engage on Bjergsen. He smited off the Banshee's Veil to open him up for this potential fight, and this is just really well played. You can see Bjergsen step back out of that volley. You know, keeping that Banshee's Veil up is so important, but it gets smited off. Then DoubleLift kiting back, GP ulti on his head. He is slowed down. There is no cleanse available, had no flash available off that previous fight, so that's just a great punish from Golden Guardians. But then they want more here. They are looking for the jugular. In goes Closer, but he can't actually pull Spica back that far because he dunked him right in the wall. Bjergsen did have flash, created a lot of space for himself here, sidesteps the barrel, gets the ultimate onto both Closer and Hauntzer, then sidesteps that sweet spot from Closer's wallop there with the W, and is able to get so much damage out that he actually just pushes them back completely, you know, kiting backwards as FBI started moving forward with that Black Shield. So Bjergsen team fighting that out immaculately. Does have the death cap now. QSS done for DoubleLift. It's TSM on the Baron here. They are looking to try to force a fight. We'll see if they pull back or if they just want to commit to this. Golden Guardians is moving over. This would be risky, but the trap line is there.
Yeah, they do get revealed though, but they can see the Baron is about half health. Still a little while to go here for TSM, but they are committing close though, eating traps. He's going to have to use the Haymaker now. Golden Guardians, I think, are just going to go for it here. They do get the ulti onto the Baron to check it, but Damonte kind of helps out TSM with the leash instead. They pull off the Baron, TSM resets it, and both teams walk away. Damonte, blue buff? No blue buff.
Yep, he got it.
Oh, he did get
it away. He got that nicely done by Damonte there. As a lot of damage over that wallet. I mean, honestly, I think as soon as Golden Guardians comes, you just have to pull off as TSM if you're not going to instantly hard engage, because you can't just try to sit on the Baron while Ziggs is there. And this actually costs them potentially a bit of a reset time, right? Because now the Dragon is spawning. and you have to fight for Soul again. And, you know, you do see that Broken Blade is chunked out quite a bit. You know, he's missing about 30-40% of his HP, which is impactful as that tank. We have had some really close fights, and missing that bit of health because he was tanking the Baron could mean a lot coming into this fight. Now he's down to almost half, so we'll see if he can get the angle. TSM do have to push on mid, and they're trying to move over now into this river area, but the barrel chain, the Bard ults get sidestepped, and there's Ziggs poke galore.
Yeah, DoubleLift does have QSS and Cleanse Up and Flash, so he's a lot less vulnerable than he was before. But FBI has the last whisper. TSM are just forcing this Dragon. They know they have to. That Ziggs ult, though, is ridiculous damage. The Dragon will go over, but TSM, can they get out alive? Closer flashing in, pulls back two with the face breaker. And now Broken Blade going to be the target. DoubleLift, though, the one they want. And FBI with the volley over the wall is going to be able to grab it. That's a double kill for the Ashe there for Golden Guardians. They do pick up two.
And this is going to be Baron for sure. They get both of those kills. Spica kicked out Closer, and they rushed down that Dragon. But honestly, DoubleLift, I don't know if they just were like split calls on like, do they fight here or not? Because not everyone had Flash. I think that you just have to sacrifice Broken Blade and Flash over the wall. It felt like maybe TSM was having a split call on do you want to turn and fight or not? But by the time that DoubleLift actually flashed, he had been dunked away from the wall, so he couldn't get over. Then sure, he nets over the wall, but he's at no health, and he dies to the volley there. You know, that was an escapable situation for DoubleLift, and to me, that speaks less about a mechanical error and more about miscommunication and split calls within the team, because you don't stay there if you're not sure if you're going to fight or not.
And Golden Guardians looking to put the finishing touches on this game. They've got Baron. They've got about 5,000 gold up. But as you mentioned about 10 minutes ago, the gold lead is not really the thing that matters all that much right now. Damonte also has 6 pages in his Magi's as he upgrades his Dark Seals. So he's thinking the game is going to keep going the way of Golden Guardians.
Yep, and if you just have, you know, 1,050 gold, if that's all you have, then it's great, right? You know, you can just grab that upgrade, look to be sitting very far back as you are on Ziggs. But TSM's still really strong on these carries, right? You know, we see that DoubleLift is working towards his Mercurial, but he has those 3 core items plus the Ornn upgrade on the IE. We see Bjergsen, you know, working towards his 4th item. He has the Ornn upgraded Death Cap. So these guys are really, really strong still, but they are having some poor decisions. And now looking for a pick on Hauntzer, but are you throwing away the game to go for this? Look at their bot lane.
Hauntzer is going to get killed here very quickly as well, but they're going to break through his Ziggs does so much here. He's just going to kill DoubleLift. Just flashes in for it, able to get that kill. And our Golden Guardians just going to look to end this game. TSM are coming back, but it's a 4v4 with their Nexus exposed. Damonte's got at least one turret here easily, yeah. Short fuse there with the satchel makes it very easy. Now 4v4, good black shield there for Huhi to protect FBI from the Tempered Fate and Closer. He just wants to get a kill here so Golden Guardians can finish the game, but Broken Blade has other plans. Locket popped there by Closer, and Golden Guardians still fighting it out here. There's the dunk for Closer, looking for the face break. He doesn't quite get it as Golden Guardians still fighting. FBI is just so strong with the black shield on here, but Bjergsen is going to be able to find the shutdown. Golden Guardians must call off the siege. Spica's going to kill Damonte as well. Finds the Q. Spica with the shutdown. Now going to go into Huhi there as well. And that's Bjergsen going to finish off the ace as Azir grabs the double.
Bjergsen refuses to lose as the rest of his team is running back to the fountain. He turns, and FBI was getting a little bit too big for his britches there, getting confident that he could actually take on Bjergsen. Bjergsen had all 3 soldiers out, and Azir will shred you. He kills off FBI, he survives, and they're able to corral the rest of the Golden Guardians team and take them down, but that was a hair's breadth away from the game ending. Had Bjergsen got caught there, it would have been over for sure. They lost the Nexus turret, they lost the inhibitor, and that was still an incredibly risky pick to go for. They committed so much to getting Hauntzer, and sure, you got him, but you lost DoubleLift, you lost your inhib, and you almost lost your Nexus. Hauntzer may be caught.
Oh, Tempered Fate. Potentially going to save Hauntzer here. No, yeah, got the trap. No oranges there, so he's going to be fine as Spica, able to get that kill. Nice setup there for TSM as they continue to find picks here. 1:35 until the Soul Dragon is up for both teams. But let's watch this Bud Light ace again.
Okay, here it is again. I mean, this is just so much committed to killing off Hauntzer. And maybe TSM felt like, hey, we actually can't defend this unless we kill someone. DoubleLift got Ashe arrowed, he got GP ulted. So as Hauntzer was dying, he dropped the GP ult onto DoubleLift, right? So they knew that they were going to lose Hauntzer, and they wanted to commit for this. But let's track Bjergsen in this fight, because it really was all about him kiting back, avoiding the clap there from Closer. Game over if he gets hit by that. You know, has to stay with. Notice how he's keeping the tank in between him as well. Then, you know, trying to sidestep out away from Closer. You know, jumps back through. Then as FBI moves forward, he has all 3 soldiers prepped, and that's why he knows he can turn. He gets the safeguard from Spica. FBI stepping too far forward, perhaps losing track of those 3 soldiers, or thinking that he could just straight up withstand it. Either way, he gets roasted there by Bjergsen, and Bjergsen saving the game again. Did it by Baron for TSM, did it again here in the base. Bjergsen is showing why he was in the conversation for MVP, is showing why people think that he is having a resurgence in his career, has been playing incredible for TSM these last couple weeks. He is now working on his final item. This Azir can carry the game.
Yeah, I mean, he is at this point, right? His DoubleLift's getting chunked. Yeah, DoubleLift is having a bad time. Golden Guardians really drafted some nasty ones here, if you're this Caitlyn. But 10 seconds till the Soul Dragon is up. Again, both teams can get the soul if they take this dragon, so we're getting late into this one, pushing close to 40 minutes.
They're TPing for the base.
Ooh, FBI wants to try and end the game.
They're just trying to tank the tower and end the game. They're going to try to stop the bases here.
All right, Broken Blade there with the ulti. They're going to get a couple from TSM.
It's over!
It's open, though. They flashed the TSM. A mode of Golden Guardians. Don't need the Soul Dragon. That's just the Nexus, and that's 2-0 up in their first round of playoffs.
What a call. That was insane from Golden Guardians. When is the last time you saw a backdoor with no minions like that? That was a triple teleport.
Yeah.
3 members showing up there. It looked like, did they? No, they didn't even have 3 TPs, did they? I'm not sure. 3 members showed up in the base. I think it actually was a triple teleport.
They do have 3 TPs.
So I'm pretty mind blown.
That's the only way, right?
Yeah, I think they all just straight up TP'd in there. There was a ward that was missed, and what a call. They knew that TSM was going to be set up for that that Soul Dragon. They had no one in the base. They didn't know the war was there. And when there's just one Nexus turret, you can just ignore the backdoor. You don't need the minions. You can burst it down. Golden Guardians with an incredible call to put TSM at match point.
Yeah.
TSM maybe getting swept out of playoffs here by Golden Guardians. No one predicting Golden Guardians would take this series. They have an incredible comeback in Game 1. They dominate TSM in the early game in Game 2, and it started to get really close for them. But again, a fantastic call. And at the end of the day, 2-0 Golden Guardians.
Yeah, look, on the precipice of winning their first ever playoff series. Quite a nice magic trick there for Golden Guardians to close out the game. But we're stepping away, and when we return, the State Farm analysts will have a lot of fun breaking down the 2-0 lead for Golden